Hey everyone, TheGamingChief here. Today I'm going to be doing a quick video on how to add the Traders mod to your existing DayZ Standalone Server. So before we begin, I just want to say I am starting off where I left off in my last DayZ video, so if you're confused, I highly recommend you start with the beginning of the series. The way this series kind of works is every video builds off of each other for the most part, so you may be missing some important information or setup in the previous videos, so I do recommend that you do follow along for the most part. There is a link in the description and on the right hand side of your screen right now. And this video is broken up into 4 different parts. Timestamps are on your screen right now. Alrighty, so part 1 is actually installing the core mod itself. So I'm on the workshop page here for the Trader add-on from Dr. Jones, and then you see we have the main one. The important thing is I need the Steam workshop ID of this, which is actually in the URL. So I need this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Now that I have that copied, I'm going to go ahead and remote into my server. And then this server is the server I am hosting the game server on. And then now that I'm in my server, I'm going to go ahead and navigate to my server directory. And then that's in servers DayZ for me. And then I'm going to want to go ahead and look at my mod list.txt. And this is where I need to place the mod. The way this list works is it will load it in order from top to bottom. So it's important to have your mods listed in the correct order. Like community framework is needed for a good majority of all the mods in the workshop. So it's very important to have this first. The mod creator of traders has said that you can put traders pretty much anywhere except above any admin tools. So in this case, I do have community online tools. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right below community framework and right before community online tools loads. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that workshop ID in, and then I'm going to go ahead and name the folder. You can theoretically name this anything you want, but in this case I'm just going to name it Trader, keep it simple. And then I'll go ahead and save that file and close it. Now that I have that saved, I'm going to go ahead and start my server. Because the script we already worked on previous videos, it's going to go ahead and check, make sure the DayZ is up to date. And it's also going to go ahead and download all my workshop mods. So this means you don't have to download it on your own computer and then transfer it over. This is going to go ahead and download it into your folder for you. So we'll wait for this, and then now it's going through all the workshop items. And then you can see that it's going to go and start with CF and then Trader and all those other add-ons. Now that it's done, we can actually close out of this because we don't want the server to start quite yet. And if we refresh, we can see that the Trader mod is there now. So we're going to go inside of this folder, and you'll notice the server profile folder here. And then it has the Trader folder, and then it has some important config files that you'll need if you want the Trader to work properly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and copy this Trader folder. And then next we need to go into your server profile folder. So typically, in the previous videos we have it set up to server name, but we can always double check by opening our batch file. Scrolling down to where it starts the server. And then we can see that the profile is server name, and we go back and we have that folder, server name, so that's the correct folder. So we'll go ahead in here, and then we have our Battle Live folder, our community online tools, all that other stuff. We're going to go ahead and paste our Trader folder in here. And if we go inside of our Traders folder, we have a couple different files that are used to customize your Trader installation. I'll just very briefly go over each file. I'm going to have a more in-depth video that goes into it, in-depth customization, stuff like that. But for now, we'll just quickly go over what it is. So this config file right here is just a general config, your currency, how much is valued to this stuff. I don't see why you'd really change that. And then you also have everything that you can buy, the buy price, the sell price, stuff like that. That's what this file is for. And then we have the Traders objects file. And this is what actually creates all the objects that makes a Trader City look like a Trader City. And this is just coordinates for everything, everything that's going to spawn. So it's important to note that this is only really set up for the Chernarus map because it only has trader coordinates set up for the 2 traders on that map. There's not currently anything set up that I'm aware of for the new map. The compatibility for that will probably come out soon, but just to keep that in mind. And then again, this just has some basic stuff, coordinates for everything is spawning, safe zones, and then also other objects it spawns in order to make the Trader City. Trader variables just has a couple variables. These are very self-explanatory. The mod creator has left some detailed comments that explain what they all do. And again, this will be covered a bit more in another video, but just read the comments if you have any questions. And then we have the trader vehicle parts.txt file. So this basically just tells the mod when you buy a vehicle what parts to add to it. Certain cars require certain things to run, and when you want to buy a car, hopefully it's all running. So this just adds everything that's necessary for the car to run as soon as you buy it. This means if you're adding in modded vehicles, it's important to edit your config file to include these. So just keep that in mind. You'll want to add in your new vehicles into here along with your main trader config. That way they're purchasable in the first place. So part 2 is just going to be fixing vehicles despawning along with adding currency to the loot table. There are some issues with vehicles apparently despawning if you go too far away or on restart, so this will help fix the issue. And then also we'll add the trader currency into the loot table. That way people can find, $1 or $5 or whatever when they're looking around. So we're going to go into MP missions, and we're going to go into the MP missions folder that applies to you. In this case, the server is currently set up for Chernarus, so I'm going to go in here. And then I'm going to go to DB, and then I'm going to go to the types.xml, and I'm going to open that Notepad++. And then from here, we need to find every vehicle that you can essentially buy. I found the easiest way to do that is if you have your trader config open, which I do, I can search for vehicles. And then we have the vehicles trader, and this currently lists the vehicles. So we can go ahead and search for the off-road one in the types file, and we'll find what we need to change. So currently there's this lifetime variable, and this basically is in seconds on how persistent it is for how long after someone has gone far enough away or after the server has restarted. From what I noticed, this kind of works. Sometimes it doesn't. It just won't despawn vehicles. However, to be safe, it's best to change this to a different value so they don't despawn immediately. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and set it to this number. If I remember correctly, this adds up to like 45 days or something like that. So you should be able to do the math if you want to change this to a different amount of days or whatever. Just again, this is in seconds, so you can do the math, figure out how many days or months or whatever you want cars to stay around. And then it's important we have to go through, and we should go ahead and modify it for all of these. And then I'm just going to keep hitting next, and I'm just going to change the lifetime on all these, and it should be just those two for the hatchback. And I'm going to go back in the trader config, and I'm going to find this one as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and change this one as well. And back to the trader config again, and to the sedan. It's important to keep in mind if you have custom vehicles, modded vehicles, you have to change this as well. And again, just go into here, paste that in there. And that will help resolve that issue. Then next, we're going to go ahead and add the trader currency to the loot table. So we're going to go to the end of this file, easy way, Control+End will take us to the end of the file here. And then we can go ahead and get this set up. And then we can just go ahead and look at this again. I have the workshop open again with the trader mod. And if you scroll down, these are very detailed instructions. So if you get lost, you can always refer back to these instructions. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy this right here. So go ahead and copy this. And then you got to go ahead and add this. And you want to add it after this type, but not after this one. So that way, like every type is a single item. So we'll go ahead and add it in right here. And then just for formatting's sake, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that, tab it over so it's tabbed correctly. And then that's the class name, and then that's good to go. And if you want more than just $1 bills to spawn, we can just add on to this, and we can just paste it in again, and then we can just change this to be 5 instead, and then $1 bills and $5 bills will spawn in the environment as well. You can also add on to this and add bigger bills. However, I probably wouldn't recommend it, as then people will be able to get money a bit easier, and it could lead to an unbalanced economy. And we'll go ahead and save this file. And one thing important to note before we jump into the server to make sure everything's working is to make sure that you are on the Chernarus map. As in my last video, I was testing out the new map. I had to change that. So some people may be using the old map and they want to go back to Chernarus. So just in case, make sure you're on Chernarus. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my config file. I'm going to go down here, and as you can see, I'm still actually on the old map. So I'll just go here, copy the Chernarus map name. And I'll put that in there. That way when I load in, it'll load me into the Chernarus map and not the other map. And now that we've gone ahead and fixed the despawning of vehicles, added the currency to the loot table, and then also went ahead and verified we are on the correct map, we can go ahead and start the server, jump in, and make sure everything's working. So I'm going to go ahead and run my start script. And this will take a couple minutes, and then once it's going, we'll go ahead and jump in. And now that everything's gone ahead and started up, I can go ahead and minimize this remote connection. And now that I'm back on my own desktop, I can go ahead and open up the DayZ Standalone Launcher. And then we can go ahead and search for my server. And as we can see, it has all our add-ons, including the traders running. And we'll go ahead and join that, make sure everything's working properly. Alrighty, now that I'm in game, we can go ahead and test out, make sure the trader's working properly. In this case, I'm probably going to go to the one on Green Mountain. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on Community Online Tools, as that's what I'm currently using, by pressing End on the keyboard. And I'm going to press Y to open up the menu. And then I'm going to go ahead and open the teleport and the player management menu. And I'll select myself, and then we're going to Green Mountain. And we'll go and teleport over there. Then we can go ahead and close that. And then behind us is the Trader City. So we can go ahead and walk in. And we can have a look at everything, make sure everything's working correctly. So it looks like we have the vehicle dealer right over here. And then when you walk up to someone, we can press B to open their menu. And we can see they do have all their vehicles, prices to buy and sell. And he also has vehicle parts, it looks like. You can duplicate keys, stuff like that. So it looks like they're working properly. There's also a trader in that building. One right there. And then weapons over here. Another one over there. Bunch of traders. And if we look here, we got different weapons. Everything seems to be working properly. We go into here. You have ammunition. As you can see, this one's highlighted in blue because that's the current gun I have. So I can actually buy bullets of that. And then I can also buy boxes of it. And you see when I try to buy it, I don't have any money right now because as it shows up here. So it'll tell you that you can't buy it. You can also buy magazines. Again, there it's highlighted blue because that's for my current weapon. Handguards, different attachments you can get here. And yeah. And then we're going to go ahead and spawn ourselves in some money. So because I'm using Community Online Tools, again, I'm going to press Y. I'll close that teleport menu and I'm going to do Object Spawner. Then I'll drag that over here. And then search, in this case, we'll search that. And then we can see our money. And then we can just get a couple hundreds of those. So we'll go ahead and spawn those on me. Close the menu. And as you can see, we have a bunch of money now. And we can go ahead and walk over here and we can go ahead and buy whatever we need. So in this case, I'll press B again. And then I could go, say if I wanted to buy ammo, I can buy a couple boxes of ammo. There's a limiter, as you can see here, to where how fast you can buy stuff. That is editable in the config, except I would probably keep it at default just because it helps avoid duplication along with server spam as well. So I'd probably keep it where it's at. I can also buy a magazine for my weapon. And that's really about it. It kind of works as intended. We can go get a car if we really wanted to. And that's about it. If you have any troubles, feel free to drop a comment below, or you can also add me on Discord. It's in the description. There should be some more videos about modifying traders, running several servers at once, some common mistakes that some people make, and a few other things coming soon within the next couple weeks or so. And if you guys have any video suggestions or certain mods that you would like to see a setup video on, feel free to let me know as well. And that's about it. Have a good day.